Good afternoon. My name is Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Welcome to today's recap and look ahead. It is Thursday, and just so everyone knows, this is the last video I'm doing for about a week. I'm going to Mexico. My wife turns 40. Yes, I'm 43, believe it or not. Some people think I look 65. But I'm only 43 and she's turning 40, and we're going to have a great trip, and I'm not going to be on video. If you're a Redler All Access, you're a member of my note, you'll be getting a lot of content from other content providers, but it won't be from me. If you follow me on Twitter and you're like, where did Red Dog go? You know what? Red Dog is going to be at the beach in Cancun. Hopefully there's no hurricanes because it is August. And I might check in from time to time. And the VTF will have my positions up, and I'll put some parameters on what I want to do with what I have based on the action. Plus we have a lot, we have to deal with tomorrow. We have the jobs report tomorrow. So anyway, all is good. So don't miss me. I'll miss all of you. And let's just keep focused here. Let's go right to the chart of the S&P Cash. So here we are, S&P Cash. This is your big range, right? Here's your 2-year range, which we traded above. And then you want to go a little closer, because that's what we do. We trade closer. We want an active look of what is happening here, okay? Every single guy out there, from Goldman Sachs to JP Morgan to the Fast Money fellas, said the game is over when we broke the 8-day moving average. You know what? I reduced risk when we broke the 8-day moving average. I reduced risk when we broke below this prior low, okay? And basically, what did we do? We broke the 8-day, held the 21-day, but when all is said and done, look at where we came from. This was your post-Brexit low. Here was your, bounce back, your V. Look at that V. V for, victory. And this was the last jobs report. Remember the last jobs report right there? I think I was on the VTF. I was trading in Short Hills. 275, whatever. I'm like, good news is good news. Let's buy. And we were buying it. And I think most of us sold right into here and then been chopped up ever since. Anyway, just saying, here we are with this range. So this is what I want to leave you with, okay? This is the range that we broke a little bit below. All right, we've done this many times in the past where they break it below. It doesn't mean anything. So what I want you to do while I'm gone, okay, is take this away. This is your new range, okay? Tomorrow, it might change also. I'll be here for that, though, with the jobs report. So, we came to the 21-day, held higher, another higher low, right smack in the middle. So this is resistance to write down tomorrow, 2178. Here's your support, which is, 2147. And then this is, would be a retest here. Okay, what do I think has to happen for us to get here? Let's talk about it. What do I think? I don't know. I'm not an economist, but I would think the market wants a print of like 160 to 190. That's what we want. Get below 100,000 jobs, like 80, something more like 2 months ago, will probably sell off, and I don't know, where we hold, but we'll look at Tuesday's low of 2147, and if that doesn't hold, we'll look at 2130, which is the old test. If we come in line like 170, probably be like this, and then hold in there, and then it'll be a lot of the same, which I'm hoping for, because if we hang out in this range, we're getting a lot of individual stock movement that we're able to target and trade, even sector movement, and that's why we get paid as active traders, by following the money, looking at the chart patterns. So anyway, 160, or 170 to 190, I feel like in line, probably stay in the range. Below 100 or below 80, probably open down and figure it out. If we get another 200 plus print, like 210, 220, maybe we come in a little bit, but I don't know if it'll be enough to break us out, but I think that'll be positive. Look to the banks, and we'll see what they do with gold. Last time we had a huge jobs number. It took a few days for them to sell off the TLTs and gold, because again, the computers want to make you think you're not smart. But we are smart, and we know what we're doing. So anyway, go back to the chart. So here's a bigger range in the S&P or the SPX. We're still just fine. You go to the Russell, real quickly, do the same thing pretty much. This range has been horrendous. Okay, here's the top end. Here's your new low end. So it's still smack in the middle. We don't always break out of ranges like we did here. That was a special time. And now it's just kind of choppy, closed in the middle end. So we'll see what happens. The Q's been relatively strong. What is it doing? Look at that, holding the 8-day. The spiders in most sectors are at the 21 days, so the Qs are a source of strength. And then the banks have been hanging in there, and we'll see what happens tomorrow with the jobs report. If you get a very, very, very strong jobs report, above 210, 220. You know, who knows? Maybe this breaks out to the upside. Okay, it's been lagging. It hasn't done much. It's above the moving averages. This is the XLF. Let's just look at the JP Morgan, which is best in breed. You know, it didn't do much today, but held in there. Here's your pivot for this inside range. It did wake up 2 days ago. But again, the banks aren't really so special, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. So let's go over my positions, because that's what's on the VTF and that's what's in the disclosures of the note, because this is where I feel like the action is, and because I'm going to have to deal with them tomorrow based on what's going on. So first things first, High Beta Tech, Amazon, Red Dog Reversal. What's a Red Dog Reversal? I'm going to tell you right now, guys. A Red Dog Reversal is when something, let me just show you really here. First of all, this was your earnings, okay? This was as high as 770. So came in from 770, put a low in at 752. That's $20 off the high. So if you wanted to buy a dip, not knowing where it would be, it traded below the low. Okay, so here's your pivot, 752. Made a low of 750. That's $2. When it came back above, you buy that spot, you put a stop in here, and it went to 760. So you had a $2 risk to make $8. And it did go a little bit higher, but you can't always catch a top. So this could potentially be your day one buy. If you bought it here, okay, maybe you take a third home for some follow through. If you're a swing trader, you buy and that's your stop. And then you'll see tomorrow, if it's market friendly, maybe this is at highs. Google wasn't special today. Very tight though. Let's look at this big range. Look at the size of this range, okay, and it's very, very tight. It has to digest a move from the bottom end of the range through to the top end of the range. Great earnings report, probably needs some time. It's letting the 8-day catch up. In my humble opinion, I feel like at some point between now and December, you know, or the next earnings report, you're going to see Google north of 850. Just a matter of when this trade comes above this spot, and the pivot here is 807.50. I'm going to be long a little Google with a stop in at 785 while I'm on the beach in Cancun sipping tequila shots. Who sips tequila shots? I'm talking about maybe margaritas. Anyway, here's that range. We'll see what happens next. Facebook was strong early on, gave you a day one. You know, it was sold on earnings, but look where it came from. So we weren't that concerned with it being sold on earnings. What did it do? It came back down to this spot and then poked its head up higher. I am in some Facebook and I'm going to hold some, and maybe it gets back on track. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Overall, this chart still looks good, still constructive. And we'll see if it can get through this resistance area and head back towards the highs, you know, at some point. So I'll probably be long a little Facebook for this, and then I'll tell my clerk to put a stop in at 122. So I'm risking 2.5 points to maybe have it go back towards 128. Okay, Netflix, not a leader, but still hanging around. We have a bull flag. It's not really a bull flag, but you can call it what you want. Here is, you know, the descending channel. This was your gap up, okay? Held support after earnings, was in the penalty box, gapped up, some director bought 600,000 shares. It's a lot of shares. And now, if you think you're going to be buying it, if it clears this spot right here, you might as well be in some now. And I'm in a little bit now, and we'll see what happens tomorrow and what I'll do with it next week. Little Red Dog reversal when it went below 92.55, came back above, and hey, 90 cents higher. What's 90 cents between friends? Maybe above here, it continues up. So that's High Beta Tech. Tesla was all over the map, you know, absorbed again, you know, a report that was a little, what's a good word for it? Wishy-washy, or not as electric. Kidding. My wife thinks I'm not funny, but I'm funny sometimes, guys. Funny. Well, anyway, here is the downtrend, or whatever you want to call this. Little Red Dog reversal today here too. What's a Red Dog reversal? You could have used this low of 221.40 or this low of 224. What usually happens, just the psychology behind it, you break below these lows, the bears will be calling for a move down to here, but what happens is they get short, it reclaims it, turns up, they have to cover, and now all of a sudden you have a green candle closing on highs, earnings are out of the way. It's a concept play. Earnings are always the actual riskier part of this stock, so with some time maybe it clears this spot, so it's back on the radar and it's on the go-to list. Twitter, yesterday there was a steady buying all day. I had the 120 calls for December, the 120s, I'm kidding, the 20s, thinking that at some point it gets taken over. Yesterday I saw the early strength, I bought the 18s. It had some follow through today. I sold half, just half, because what did it do? Technically, it filled the gap, and I figured, look at the size of this move, I might as well take some off, because if it doesn't get taken over in the next few days, which I don't think it does, it comes in and then I'll buy them back. But ultimately, good to see it back up there. It's in the game, and I do think at some point, someone takes them over. LinkedIn was a 26 billion valuation. This down here is still only like, I don't know, what is it? It's like 11 or 12 or 13. So at some point, look where it was. Maybe Donald Trump buys it. He loves to tweet. I'm kidding. But anyway, above this spot, we'll see. So I'm in the options. I sold some. It's been a nice move on a day trading basis, and we'll see what's next. Oil. Yesterday, Red Dog reversal, UWTI, USO. I was on with Annabelle yesterday. Remember we were talking about the reversal in oil, and maybe we'll see follow through? Well, it opened down, and this morning we talked about support that needed to hold for it to continuation. So if it opened up, you would have made a little bit of money. It opened down, you could have bought more and made a lot more money. So let's talk about it, or let's show you. UD, what is this? UWTI. Remember that song, You Ain't Got No Alibi? That's like a cheer. But anyway, so what's a Red Dog reversal? It wasn't really a full Red Dog reversal. But anyway, let's go back to here. This is when the uptrend broke. Woo, there you broke. Right there. Broke below the 21-day, retested it. High, lower high, continued lower. Wide range bar there, boom. So you had a here. Remember on Friday we bought this and got stopped out? Well, here you could have bought this yesterday, and then what did it do? It held the top third of the range and continued. Talked about the 5-day. I put the 5-minute chart on to say this is what needs to hold for it to be any good. I went like this. I'm like, you know what? Maybe if it makes it easy for us, it'll hold here so we don't get stopped out. It did hold there. And I said, maybe, they shake the tree and this would be a spot that I would probably get stopped out of. Thank God it didn't happen. And then, not only did it hold here, it consolidated, wedged. You could have bought more there. You could have bought more here, and then gave you some follow through. And that's what you do, or what you want as a trader. You want follow through. That's how you make money, not erratic, misdirectional moves. So anyway, here we are in front of the jobs number. The range is still intact. You have, different types of setups all day long. That's what the Red Dog All Access note is for. But you're not going to have the note next week, because where's Red Dog? He's away. So don't be like, oh, what happened to Red Dog? He's out of the business. No, I'm just away on vacation next week. And we'll have our content providers send you Cooper's note, who's awesome. You better learn Gann and learn some stuff, because he does have awesome plays, but he has some, not freaky, that's a bad word for the market. Some terminology you might have to get used to, not narcissistic terminology like me with the Red Dog reversal. Right? Who names a friggin' strategy after themselves? I don't know. Anyway, what else? So at this point, it's a summertime. There's still a lot of action. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I'll be in Short Hills. I'll be on the radio before the jobs data, so we could talk our ways through it, and then I'll be trading during the day, and then I'll figure out what I want to do for the week ahead. So, but if you're not on the VTF, you're not going to know, because that's the radio. That's a paid-for product. Here, this is my last video. But at this point, if you follow me just through video and on Twitter, we're intact. There's things going on. Buying some weakness has been helping. There is some leadership out there, and things are a bit more constructive than faulty at this point. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'll be around all day, and then we'll figure out, how to be safe and profitable moving forward. So it's Thursday night. It's the summer. Have some fun, but not too much fun, because you have to wake up tomorrow. There's a big number at 8:30. Not as big as the last 2 months, but still there's gonna be a lot of action based around it. Let's hope there's no surprises. Inline would make things a little easier to handle. Good luck, and I will be back on this video in, let's say, Thursday. A week can change, but I will check in on Twitter from time to time, because I'll go away from the hotel room and I'll hide in the room so Selena, my wife, doesn't see it, and I'll keep you guys updated here and there. But if she catches me, I'm in trouble. Bye bye.